4 crucial ways to improve your teacher's perception of you to pursue a strongly predicted grade. Right, consistency, that's the first one. Okay, genuine consistency in the quantity and the quality of work that you conduct. Turn in your assignments on time, the work that you do, make sure it's high quality every single time. So if you've just achieved a C in your kind of end of year mocks or a B, but you need that A, right, how do I change his mind or her mind? Right, I will put in the effort to build and create and answer and hand in top quality work consistently every week. And if you do that, again, you will reap the benefits. They will see that you're doing this. And if they see that you're doing this, that will then push you to gaining that momentum with them in a positive tone. So if the last thing they've seen of you is in May or June, you sat an end of year exam and you got a C or a D and you're operating at that level, and that's all they saw of you up until September time, where you didn't then preach or do the actionable task that's going to get you ready for September, their mind has not changed. You haven't put anything in their mind for them to think about over the summer. So if you can apply that consistency at the end of year 12, going into year 13, they will start to think over the summer, maybe even send in some work during that summer period. Okay, and it's going to show that you've improved on what your thoughts were before. Be active. When you're in class, when you're in discussions via email, actively contribute and make sure you're inputting the information or your knowledge in a very quality, a very high quality and impactful manner. And once you do that, genuinely, it's very easy to change their mind. It's very easy to go from a predicted grade that's a C to a B, and then from that B you can move on to an A, and A to an A star, and there's processes in which we need to approach in order to be able to do that. So be very active. Genuinely, don't be quiet. Okay, it's very important that you're not quiet in that sense of the word. Show your worth, right? So show your teachers the work that you're putting in and emphasize the improvements that you've made. So this is very similar to consistency and being active, but what this is doing is using the concept of comparison to show, right, I've answered this question, this essay that was worth 25 marks, I answered it in December when I was in year 12, when I didn't know anything, but now, look, I've put in so much effort into answering this 25 marker, can you mark it for me? And if they mark it for you and you end up getting that 20 out of 25 or anything above what you got before, that is that solid improvement that I'm talking about. So making sure that you're showing signs of improvement, showing your worth is very key. And if you consistently get those A's and A stars, then yeah, you can move on from that. Right, I've been getting a C or a D and moving it up to a B, A star, as I mentioned before. Is that okay? Is that clear? Anything there that you don't agree with, just let me know. Focus on systems, not goals. This is probably the most important piece of advice and guidance that I will give throughout the year, and it will be the most effective. I'm sure some of you already know this, but never focus on goals. Never go, I need an A star, right? Don't say that, or don't focus on that, because I want to cure cancer. Okay? Do you want to cure cancer? Yes. I mean, if you say no, then well, that's a different conversation. But I want to cure cancer one day. You want to get an A star by the end of your economics A level. And if you want to do that, how do you achieve it? You have to focus on systems and processes. What are you doing every single day to make sure that you're achieving that A star? So I'll go back to before. If you're not consistently putting in the hard work at home and you're not handing in quality work, you're not answering exams in a quality perspective, you're not learning through elaboration, you're not ensuring you're revising alongside the syllabus, and you're not actively engaging with economics on a real world basis, and you're not understanding the tools, and you're not you're not implementing the tools necessary to get that A star, then that goal means nothing. So if you focus on that goal, you're not going to achieve that goal. If you focus on the system, the step-by-step system and process to getting to that goal, or to be that perfect student, essentially, then you will, I can almost guarantee you'll get that top grade. Genuinely. Because if you put in those systems and processes, very little can go wrong that's in your control during that exam. Yeah, you might get a question that you don't like, but you would have placed a system in place in order to make sure that you kind of cover that. You've trained your brain to handle that adversity when it comes to seeing that exam question on a piece of paper. So it's very important that you do that. And what I mean by focusing on systems as well, I've just got a question suggesting what do you actually mean? Essentially, what do you want to do? So you're studying economics, let's say. Okay, what's the concept of a model student? Right, say the goal is an A star. Right, say the goal actually is to go to a university. I'll make a university up. So London School of Economics. Right, they want an A star from economics. Okay, right, that's the goal, obviously. So you can't keep going, I want to go to LSE, I want to go to LSE to study economics. Let's go back a step. I want to go to LSE, A star. How do I make that happen? Okay, so they want that grade, fair enough. Okay, let's go right to the beginning now. Sorry, let's go to the exams now. Right, the exams are this structure, okay? The exams are focused on knowledge application, analysis, and evaluation. There's data context, there's 25 markers, etc., etc. Now let's go back. How do I prepare for them? So as you're going back, right, I need to do exam practice. You wouldn't believe how many students go into that exam not having done exam practice. That's insane to me. Right? Practice makes perfect. Genuinely, practice makes perfect. Right? There's no other explanation. Okay, that active recall element or that retrieval practice is key if you want to be a success. So go backwards. How do I get that exam practice? Right, you've got to do exam practice on pieces of paper throughout the year, etc. How do you answer those questions? Right, you need to understand the concepts and the knowledge, etc., and also the structure of those exams. So do you see what we're doing? We're reverse engineering the success of all of this. So if you're consistent and you're active in the classroom environment, you're consistently showing your worth as well, and you're focusing on your systems and your processes, there's no doubt that your teachers are going to look at this and go, right, you have done a solid job over the last few months. I'm very happy to offer you something completely different to what you thought I would give. Here's your A or your A star. Those four ways will improve, or those four methods will improve your chances of your teachers perceiving you to be able to obtain a higher mark. Let me know if you have any questions.